So I had Mike stop it here for a second so I can step down. I want to make sure I'm stable, like I don't want to be falling all over the place if I'm kind of controlling his movements here. And maybe make sure that Matt's, like, are you in a good place, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point too, you can probably see that his feet are about to start hitting the seat. So if the person isn't able to move their legs out of the way, then that would be something also that would be your responsibility. So I'm going to check, make sure that there's no lines or anything that his feet are going to come down on, and just let him know, okay, I'll pull your legs out of the way while you come down. Okay? You good?
Yeah.
Once they're clear of everything, you want to make sure they're in the back of the seat. Make sure their feet don't hit the steering lines that are down here. You can push gently on their knees if that helps. And again, you'll get to know the sailors around here. What's your head, Mike? So you want to, again, start pulling this forward. And here, either the sailor will take the straps off themselves, or you can just whip them off quickly. And then just make sure that you know that someone's got a hand on this, and it's not going to swing back and hit him. You want to take care of that? Thank you. And now he's in it. So, you guys ready to try it? All right, so we'll do the whole getting in first, and then after we'll do the transfer out, which is, of course, the same steps backwards. And then you just have to make sure that you communicate so you don't both go at once, okay. You know? And so you're just going to want to keep talking to her, and you can give her feedback, like if you feel uncomfortable with something. And you can talk through what you're doing to Emily. It would be a good idea to just say, okay, I'm going to do this now, and talk to Mike.
Okay, so we're going to start picking you up. Hold on here.
That's it. Remember, you're the person who's calling the up-down, so you can be confident about it. And then as soon as you feel like it's going to be hard for you to keep managing doing what you're doing, call for him to pause.
Just stop for a second.
Good, that's it. Keeping an eye on the left. Good, look nice and controlled.
Yeah.
How does it feel, Alicia?
Good.
Excellent.
It felt very controlled. I was
And Emily, did anything, any
No,
questions or anything felt okay?
actually, just the lines down here, the steering lines.
Yeah.
Their feet end up on them.
Yeah, so that's something that you have to keep an eye for, because you can see it goes from the bottom of the tiller and it runs all the way to the rudder, like they literally are the steering lines. So you can either ask them, you could ask Alicia to put her feet forward and make sure they're on it, or if she can't do it on her own, you can say, I'm just going to move your feet off the lines and push them off.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure that no lines are under her feet whatsoever.
Okay, but if I move her feet off the line after she's completely...
Either as she's coming down, when she's a few inches above it, you can just pull her heels forward so they land in front. Or say she's sitting like that, then you can just either ask her to move them forward or pick them up. But if her feet are on the lines, then you've got no steering. Sometimes the adjustments, like they can't just instead of push themselves back to get things right. Sometimes it's going to be like, oh, up an inch, over an inch, back down, up a little more, oh, back, oh, and it goes on for like 10, 15 minutes, but they have to really, really be perfect in there. And it's a health issue too, because a lot of people, if that's the state that they're sitting or lying down all the time, their skin gets so sensitive, and getting like sores on their skin or whatever can be really painful and really dangerous if it gets infected. So if they're not sitting just right and they end up, damaging their skin or something, like it could be a total nightmare just because they were sitting 1 inch over the wrong way. We had special cushions that they'll sit on too, like air cushions and gel cushions and things like that. So like what we did today was just like the basic version, like toss them in and they sort themselves out and that's that. But then we go through all different complicated ones. So good. Okay, great. So come on out, girls, and we'll switch it up. So we'll give you a chance to be the secondary person, and then once Matt has shown how to set up all of the auto helm sip and puff, we'll talk a little bit more about more complicated disabilities and how to deal with those transfers, but you've got the basic one in your belt. So what are some of the key things that you think you either learned or took away or think are important from the lesson?
Most making sure the person's comfortable and they feel confident in the lift.
Yeah, how did it feel for you when you were in this like today?
I did feel, once I was in and we were moving, I could tell just by my body weight, but initially it was kind of a little nerve-wracking to be like in the air.
Yeah, sure. And bear in mind, and you're comfortable around water and boats and everything. So for someone who's, the lift is new, the boats are new, the water is new, it's a lot to absorb. So pretty much just remembering that no matter what, whether it's a practice and especially if it's the real thing, you want to be safe and you always want to be in control. Never hesitate to stop and readjust, stop altogether and just pause, take a breather, rekindle the communication, talk with the sailor, talk with the person you're transferring with, and make sure that the person's really going to feel safe and secure the whole time so that they're going to want to come sailing again.